Do you have the link for the watch together?
Yes, I do. I
Ready?
was just about to ask if you are ready for me to ruin your fucking day.
Well, it is currently the next day where I am, so let's do it. Let's ruin my day at the exact start of it. Why don't we?
Okay. Fuck. Here we go. Get in the fucking chat, bitch.
I'm getting in the chat,
It's a watch.
bitch.
It's a watch together.
Join the room. Invalid access code.
What?
Use a valid invitation link.
What the fuck? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Doesn't want me to
Oh,
be in there.
share.
Share. Ah, yes.
Uh. Hmm. I. I don't know how to do watch together. Fuck. Fuck.
There should be a I've used it only once before. So I'm not sure what it is that you're looking at. Um,
Oh yeah, the thumbnail is cat looking at the kid with that expression of uh, and
oh,
it says a heavy-handed script.
I don't know about that. I would
Yeah,
disagree with that.
blatant, sure, but I wouldn't say heavy-handed.
Sure, but
Where the do I? Oh, there it is. It was in the fucking corner,
yeah,
further
it's in the
away.
upper right hand corner.
Yeah.
There's a.
Okay. There we go. There we
I
go.
just pulled up a watch together window so I could
There we
more
go. The
properly
second
assess.
one. There you go. Hi, East.
There,
Hello, my
oh,
yeasty boy.
it is me, East.
All
Oh, can I
quiet
not
on the
change my
Eastern
name?
Front.
All quiet on the Eastern Front.
All
I'll
quiet.
never forgive the Japanese.
Wait. You fought the Russians.
Right. I'll never forgive the Russians.
I mean. Well, I was gonna say your country's the one that failed, but I mean, so did theirs. So
Every, literally every country failed. It was World War One.
not America, Britain, and France.
Well, yeah, it's because we're America and we rock.
Well, also because we kind of came in at the last minute.
Yeah, same with yeah, as we do all the time.
And yeah, the
World War
British managed.
Two
Yeah, and Vietnam.
and Vietnam. Well, we shouldn't have even gone in the first place.
Yeah, yeah. It's complex. We had legit reasons to be there, but at the same time, it's like, did we though? Because we wanted to help out the French, who are our allies, but then, some of our American civilian pilots who were helping them out got shot down, and that was like, that's it. That is the final straw. We shall end communism, and we just sent like 30,000 young men to die, which was neat.
Yeah, that's neat.
Or
Let's do it
however many it
again.
was. Yeah, yeah.
I
Let's.
think it was about 30,000. Let me double check that. Uh, Vietnam U.S. death toll.
Because I know in Afghanistan our casualties were something like 15,000.
40,934 U.S. troops were killed in action in Vietnam.
Oh, okay, so I wasn't too far off.
The total number of deaths from just in general in the Vietnam War, and get this, is estimated at its highest to be 666,000 people.
I'm sorry, say again?
666,000 people is the highest estimated number of deaths across the Vietnam War.
For well,
That's including that's including everyone. That's
okay,
civilian
yeah.
deaths.
If
That's
that includes
Viet
if that
deaths.
includes
That's
the
everything.
Vietnamese and the French, then yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, that's everything. But I find it hilarious that it's 666,000.
I mean, it's kind of fitting
It
considering
was
that
the
it
Devil
was,
War.
yeah, it was hell on earth, and that's about the time that heavy metal was invented. So I mean, checks
Yeah.
out. And all the soldiers were listening to, like heavy metal or like progressive rock. So, I
Oh
mean,
wow,
it
I have
checks
a.
out. I mean, yeah, I'd listen to fucking Black Sabbath while, going mowing down innocent people. Why not?
Why not? Numbs the pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you know that 17,000 people died in World War II from the state of California alone?
I believe it.
I believe it too. 18,000 were from Illinois.
I also believe it.
Let's see what was the highest one though by state.
I
Oh,
don't know,
wow.
but it's
I
probably
found
not
it.
going to surprise me because 300,000 Americans died in World War II.
31,215 people from the state of New York is the highest
That would
number of
explain why every
American
fucking World
casualties.
War II media has at least like three New Yorkers.
Yeah, because they all died.
Yeah, exactly. Also because like New York was like the cultural center at the time,
hmm
and now it's well, either California
It's
or
it's
Texas.
I'd
Pick your
say it's
poison.
probably California.
Yeah, it's California.
Yay. So
The
91
fuck this
people from
place?
Alaska died in World War II,
Oh yeah, well,
43 in
91 out of
Vietnam,
100 of them.
43 died in Vietnam, and you want to know how many people from Alaska died in the Korean War?
Two.
7. And those were the only 7 who enlisted.
I can just hear some Korean guy screaming, "Fuck you, Alaska!"
I'm gonna kill 1/3 of the population right now.
Oh, that is fucked, dude. Fucking put up the fucking Battlefield 1 squad wipe thing.
Is that the I'm pretty sure that's the smallest number by state. No, the Panama Canal Zone had 1 person die in the Korean War.
Well, to be fair, that's a territory, not a state.
True. I don't even know why it's listed here as a state.
Because it was a United States territory.
But it's not a state though. This is state.
Slash
Listed by
territory.
state.
Well, then they need to
There's no
update.
slash
Well, then
territory.
they
It
need to
just says listed
update.
by
Fuck.
state.
Either that or they're planning something that we don't know.
Oh no.
Panama becomes the 51st state, followed by Puerto Rico. Anyway, yeah, you ready to see what
I
Arch
am ready.
Warhammer has to
Yes.
say? I don't think
I
you
would
are.
love.
I don't
I
think
would
you
love
are
to
ready.
see.
This shit's more depressing than the actual movie.
All right, well, let's not dilly any more dallies here.
Oh damn!
Invest.
Did you just did, did you just
Invest.
are you pausing it?
No?
Nicht Neues
Oh, there.
is
Now
a
it's playing.
literary work.
The fuck was that?
What was what?
It just kept like pausing.
I didn't do anything.
You say so.
First released in a newspaper in 1928, then released as a full-fledged book in 1929, and adopted into a movie in 1930.
So, question: how small does your book have to be if it's released in a fucking newspaper?
I don't know. Can you tell me if this is what I'm supposed to be seeing right now?
Uh, yes, it is.
Okay, so it's just a still of Paul
Yep.
for this part? Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Copyright's a bitch.
Gotcha. Okay.
The rapid adaptation should already give you some idea of how impactful of a book this was.
Did you just say
It was quickly
adaptation?
translated into 20
Oh,
plus
I don't think that's
languages
a word.
and sold 2.5 million copies within a year and a half from release,
Well, to be fair, he's
which
like
was
Dutch
an
or something.
enormous success by 1930s book standards. It would receive a second movie adaptation in 1979, And
which
now
I have yet to see.
Netflix has decided
It's
to
shit.
make a movie
Oh fuck,
as
is
well.
it? What do they do?
It's not very good. It's just very underwhelming. Like it's got none of the interesting artistry that
Either of the
makes
versions have.
either of the bookending ones so impactful. It's just it reads like it's like text. It's just like oh, this happened, this happened, this happened, the end. um
Damn,
I
that
mean, give it a
sounds
watch if you want,
that
but
sounds kind of fucking lame, man. I
yeah,
mean, I'm
give it
gonna
a
give it a
watch.
watch because I want to see all versions of the thing. I like I've seen the original. I've seen the new one. I have yet to see the '79 version, and I have yet to read the book. I want to go through all of them so I could get like the best possible view on the story overall and on the movies because I really fucking love the new one and the original. I really love them, and I want to be able to give them as fair a shake as possible.
They're fucking great.
Yeah, they are, and the new one's better. Fucking mark my words.
All
I bet that's a really controversial statement among certain crowds.
Well, like I don't know what the rest of the crowd thinks, but like based on what I've just seen now, again, it's been 10 years since I've seen the original, but like based on what I've seen, I would say that this is probably the superior version.
Yeah, I saw the original like a couple days ago. The new one's better.
quiet on the Western Front of the 2022 edition. And yes, I can smell your fear. Because I too was very, very skeptical about Netflix adopting a book like this with their
I mean, to be
reputation.
fair-
You can't adopt a book, dumbass. Not
Fucking
a person.
shut up. To be fair, to be absolutely fucking fair, Netflix has a terrible track record, and I remember how scared you were, and I perfectly justified fear. But after having seen this, I can safely say that German Netflix is probably the best Netflix.
Germflix is best flicks.
Well, German Netflix and Japanese Netflix specifically.
Yes, Germflix and Japflix are the best flicks.
American Netflix, however, ironically, because it's an American company, is somehow the fucking worst.
It doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah.
American film is one of the most insecure sects of the medium imaginable.
Fucking somehow, despite being like the biggest part of it,
You
and
just gotta pander to fucking everybody because everybody lives here.
yeah, and also actually, now that I think about it, didn't America invent film?
No.
No.
Well, okay, so technically yes. It was Thomas Edison uh who invented it.
So he invented like the camera or whatever.
Yeah, he invented the camera and the method to well, he didn't invent the camera. He invented the method to string multiple images together to create movement.
Mm.
Um, and it was his production company that made a couple of the first feature films, such as the silent film adaptation of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which is
Oh.
actually very good. It's technically that is the first feature film. I mean, it's not a feature; it's like only just a little bit longer than a half hour. Um, but it's very good. One of the first moving picture shows is actually they were just playing around with what they could do with it, and they took two cats and built a tiny boxing ring and put gloves on the cats and put them in the ring and had them box each other.
That is hilarious. I want to see
Yeah.
that.
One of the original uses of the medium of film was a fucking shit post.
Humans. Oh my god, we never fucking change. Jesus
No, we
Christ.
don't.
Oh man, dude, that's fucking glorious. you know for a fact the first person to write something down, they wrote something down. They were like, oh man, this is fucking genius, and then they were like, but can I do dicks with it? And then they did it, and they were like, I wrote peanut.
Yep.
You
So
know for
here
a
we go.
fact some motherfucker did that.
Here we go. I'm gonna drop a link in the Discord. This video is 22 seconds long. The film, the directorial debut of Thomas Edison,
I need to
inventor
see
of the
this.
light bulb, boxing cats
I need to fucking see this.
in 1894. This is 128 years old.
Dude, this looks like something some fucker posted on goddamn 4chan. Like,
Yes.
this
This is
looks
128 years old.
looks like a meme you'd find in like fucking like Cowbelly or whatever. Jesus.
This video is my age plus a century.
Jesus, that is hysterical, man. Oh
I
man.
fucking love it. I fucking love people.
Like that video alone is simultaneously the reason why humans are the greatest and worst species on the planet.
Oh, it was filmed in July of 1894, which means it's probably exactly my age plus a century.
Wow. Well, give or take like a week or two.
Yeah, give or take a couple weeks maybe. But like it's yeah, astonishing, truly.
Fucking hell. What are the odds of that?
I slim to none.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Goddamn.
born to love movies.
Anyway, Arch. Anyway, about.
Oh yeah, back to Arch's terrible video.
Yeah, yeah. Which, to be fair, so far it hasn't been terrible. He's made pretty.
He hasn't said anything incorrect.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything incorrect,
Kids
and
is a
he
company,
is
and All Quiet
absolutely.
on the Western Front is a book.
Well, yeah, it got adapted really quickly because it was wildly popular, and Netflix has a really bad track record with adaptations. So, yeah,
Yes.
no, everything he's said so far, lines up. It makes sense. It's true. And also, I like the meme. Even if it is like a lame version of the meme, like it's still true. Although, actually, in the books, Triss has chestnut hair, so she looks more like Velma.
I see.
So yeah, that little redhead bit right there, that ain't quite
That ain't
right.
Triss.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like it's closer than like this.
It's closer than, yeah, it's closer.
Yeah, it's closer than her depiction in the game. In fact, like that's probably not a terrible depiction even. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not whatever the fuck that is at the bottom.
Yeah, which to be fair, I will give The Witcher the benefit of the doubt. The conjunction of the spheres is kind of a decent excuse to have a diverse cast because it's all these worlds like melding into one for a moment.
Okay, good. Explain that in the thing then.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Like,
They only mention the conjunction of the spheres like once
I'm
in the show.
I'm not going to write the story for the author.
Yeah, I'm just saying like it did bother me at first, but then I learned about the conjunction of the spheres from the games and the books, and it's like, oh, okay, so like all these worlds came together, and like the elves aren't native to the land either, and the humans, their world was destroyed, so it makes perfect sense that there would actually be a racially diverse cast. Neat.
Mhm.
I wish that I didn't have to go to the books to do that, especially since they're deviating so wildly from the books, but at least there's an explanation.
Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
And year. God alone knows what manner of
Oh my God, not the
interesting
black!
things might be
Not the
found in
crippled?
the German trenches
Not
of
the
World
crippled
War
black.
One.
The
Oh,
life
no,
of
it's
Stephen
a black
Hawking.
crip.
Did you see that shit?
Yes, I saw that shit.
my
I was looking
God.
at that shit.
Oh.
I am happy to inform you that this, at least, is not a problem in
I'm
All
happy
Quiet
to
on the
inform
Western
you that
Front.
there
In
are
fact,
no black
I am
people in
impressed
All
by the
Quiet
level
on the
of
Western
research
Front
that the director
2022.
put in to making sure that the movie.
I don't think that's what Arch. Well, there were actually the
No,
French guys. Remember the guards?
yeah. The French guys had the. Yeah.
Hold on, I need to adjust something for recording purposes.
Okay. Do I have power of pause?
I think so.
Let me find out.
Looks
I do.
Okay. I think it's better. We'll see though. Keep in mind, everyone, this is an entirely new format for me, and I do not have the technical skills of EFAP, so I cannot make this look good.
What's an EFAP?
Fuck you.
Definitely not a thing through which I met several people that
Or
I
me.
enjoy being around.
right in terms of buildings, in terms of interiors, in terms of clothings, mannerisms, weapons, and uniforms. Because to a person like me, it seems like such an easy thing to make sure that all of the Germans are using the correct version of the Gewehr 98, the one with the extra long barrel and the straight bolt, rather than the 98K. There is a scene near the end of the movie where the Germans are placed under attack by tanks. And I expected for all the world to see British Mark 1s and Mark 2s appear out of the fog, because it is the World War I tank, right? But no, the Germans are fighting the French, and there it comes, a Char Saint-Chamond, the French World War I tank, rendered in, again, impressively correct levels of details as well, and it is just nice to see, for once, that the director.
So, something that I kind of want to mention real quick. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Oh, goddamn. Oh, never mind. I can't adjust that. That's neat. Cool. But something that I wanted to go into real quick is a history professor managed to point out that I forget the guy's name. I think it was Real History, like REEL history. Like he does like movie reactions and he takes like
I,
clips
I
of
am
the.
familiar.
Yeah. So okay, so you know, but yeah, he's like the Doctors React, but with like a history professor to history movies. Neat stuff. He pointed out in this movie that the treads on the Saint Chamond are wrong. Those are World War II treads, not World War I treads. He also
Oh,
pointed out
interesting.
he also pointed out that the trench system didn't have the zigzag pattern that it would have at this point. I think it was called a trabos system. Maybe that's just like a British term because that's the term they used in "They Shall Not Grow Old." Which have you seen that?
I own that on Blu-ray.
Okay, but have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it
Okay,
twice.
good,
I saw it in theaters.
good,
It's
good.
fucking incredible. It's my favorite
Great movie.
documentary.
Everyone go watch "They Shall Not Grow Old."
Yes, do that. And if you don't, I will come to your house with my Blu-ray copy and I will kill you with it.
Damn.
No, we're just gonna watch it
Oh, okay.
with popcorn.
All right. So anyway,
It's a very popcorn-worthy
so
documentary.
yeah, if you look carefully, the trench doesn't have the zigzag pattern that it should, which
Sure.
maybe that would be like fine for like the start of the war, uh, and maybe it's fine because like the front line didn't move at all in this area. I don't know, but yeah, it's there are small details that they do get wrong, and Arch. To be fair, Arch is absolutely correct. The details in this movie are fucking insane. They are so damn good. But like I even pointed out like the little like camo on the guy's helmet, on Cat's helmet, and how what I didn't point out was that it was like faded and muted, like it had been worn out or something. Uh, However, it's just like granted, maybe I misheard him earlier. Maybe he said that to him it seems like an insignificant detail to get the right model of the Gewehr 98. But but you know he's going on about how the details are great. Meanwhile, there's like fucking he's showing a scene where there's two incredibly wrong details. Oh, three actually, because there wouldn't have been that many flame troopers at once. They would have been supported by like a whole squad of infantry, or maybe not like a whole squad, but like a detachment of infantry to support them because the flamethrower is a close range weapon and required two operators at the time. That said,
Okay.
the flamethrower would have still been just as fucking devastating. Like, holy shit.
Huh. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, Real History's video on the movie is pretty good. It could be better, but it's pretty good. And by could be better, I mean like the format. His format's really simple, but it allows him to get out videos like that, like the second he needs them, which I can respect. Got to get that grind right.
Gotta stay on that grind.
Yeah, even though he's a fucking college professor, probably getting paid tens of thousands of dollars
Sure. Yeah.
like a fucking semester, but you know, I do not mind getting on that grind. I think everyone should.
Director gives a shit about representing reality. God, it almost brings a tear to my eye, though unfortunately, I am also going to have to say that out of the three movies, this is probably the weakest.
No.
I've not seen the '79 version. You said that pretty fucking quick.
Anyway.
Of the lot. And if you judge them by how true they are to All Quiet on the Western Front and the intentions of that book, then there is no question this is by far the weakest of the three. Because I would like.
See, and that's the comment that really made me think.
By,
Maybe I should share this.
by far. This is by far weaker than. I'm just gonna ignore the 79 version because you haven't seen it. So for the sake of whatever.
Well,
Um.
if you want to or need to illustrate a point, absolutely use it. Like,
No, it's again like so. I watched both versions back to back, which was a decade ago. So any commentary that I have is probably not going to be very accurate, and also just like it's gonna be on based on like, oh yeah, no, I just remember my experience watching it that it was shit and didn't hold my attention nearly as well as the original. But
okay, so
by
it could be like a
far,
faulty memory thing, or just like,
it,
the
it
original
couldn't.
was better. Why should I pay any attention to this?
It
Okay,
could
okay, so
entirely be.
okay, that's
But
actually really fair. You're being fair.
yes, I am. I am being fair. But I do very much clearly remember, at least in chunks, the 1930s one. And the 1930s one, it's not better than the current version. Uh, but to say that this is by far weaker than the original, like no, you have to intentionally, willfully ignore just how it fucking looks and sounds to say that. Like, never mind the script. This is a technically phenomenal piece of work. Like this is art.
Yeah,
The current
absolutely.
version.
Now,
This is
to be fair, he did say in terms of faithfulness as an adaptation to the book, which
gives a fuck.
well, I mean, to be fair, he's read the book, we haven't, so I could actually see why he's attached to it, which, okay, yeah, perfectly fair. If you want to say that it is the worst adaptation, that's probably true.
Yeah, it
However,
might be.
it's just throughout the video, he maintains that it's the worst version because of that.
Yeah, like yeah, like it if you're judging it solely as an adaptation, then sure, maybe it is. But you can't like
But that
does
that
he ever
completely.
say that it's a bad movie? Like because of that?
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of. The thumbnail, it says a heavy-handed script, and the title of the video is "All Quiet on the Western Front 2022 Netflix review. Excellent details,
The
very
title is
lacking
too
story."
long. Your
Okay, well
video title is too long.
here's shut the fuck up.
Arch, Arch, buddy, make your fucking titles shorter. At least short enough to fit in the header on the video when I mouse over it.
Uh, well, here's the point. All Quiet on the Western Front 2022 review. Excellent details, very lacking story. That is the title.
Very lacking story. There's no 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 no
Yeah,
no
yeah, what do you
no
mean lacking in story? Sure, we talked
lacking
over
in
it, but
story.
you motherfuckers in the audience, all like fucking two of you who are gonna watch this, like fucking, you cannot tell me that the story that we saw the story of a man witnessing the death of his friends and the horrors of World War One and how his soul left his fucking body.
I
We
am
saw
reaching
that as
out.
the A plot, and the B plot was literally someone trying to end the fucking war, with the C plot being the villain, which he's the villain. With the villain being, no, fuck that shit. I got a war to fight. What am I gonna do without a war?
I'm I'm gonna reach out into the future to those two people who are watching this, True Random Gamer and Unformed. Uh,
If even.
even even a cold heartless bastard like one of you has to admit that there is some emotional resonance going on in here, and to the other one who I know is going to like this. Get a load of this guy, huh?
Oh man, like there's so much going on, man. Like the deterioration of mental well-being, the end of the war, the conflict of being a soldier, you know, and how it's mirrored in the upper and lower echelons. And you could even argue that there are two villains. The French guy, the French general, he was like, yeah, fuck you, fuck everything that you've ever worked for, fuck your lives, fuck your country. I'm pissed. And so he like taking away all the trains and stuff. Yeah, and here's the thing. To my knowledge, that happened. Why do you think Germany was so fucking bitter about losing World War One and got so angry that they started a second one? It's because they had no fucking infrastructure. They literally weren't allowed to industrialize post World War One.
Yeah, because the Jews kept taking all their money.
Well, it was the French, but yeah.
Yeah, the French Jews.
Whoa, Jesus! Is that why they invaded Poland? Ah, oh, those French Jews. We have to get rid of them. So let's invade Poland.
Let's go the opposite direction.
Hans, isn't that literally the opposite direction? Yeah. I just hate Jews. Bro,
Germans are really bad at
I see
geography,
something else
okay?
going on here, man.
Germans are really bad at geography. They thought they were going. The Brits say it's across the pond. Let's go across the pond. No, not literally that pond.
That would explain why the Holy Roman Empire was just in a constant fucking state of civil war. Because all the Germans up north, they didn't know which way they were fucking going. They thought they were fighting the French the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's weird. These French mercenaries, they sound like Germans.
Dude, when did the Gauls learn to talk like us?
Well, the Holy Roman Empire, that was like 900
Right.
to 1800.
Right,
So.
but let's be real. Some of them never moved past the past. That's Gaul
Yeah,
to some.
Germany has a problem with letting go of the past.
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to. Kill it? No, 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 don't kill all those people.
Kills the past, euthanize the old. Whoa, where the fuck did I say that?
Dude, It's if you say no, kill the past in English translates to euthanize the elderly in German.
I don't think it does.
No, no, no. It has here. Take this English to Deutsch dictionary. Wait, that was French. What the fuck?
Hold on.
I'm done. No, it doesn't. It.
Tota de Huh? Tota de Vergangenheit.
Yes.
Töte die Vergangenheit.
Oh, Tota de Vergangenheit. That's how it's pronounced.
Okay.
I probably still butchered that even after hearing it.
Probably. And that means kill the past or euthanize the elderly. Or wait, no, they're the same thing. We established that.
Anyway, yeah.
So anyway, Arch.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a fucking arch about fucking valuing human life. I value it now.
My-
After this, I don't.
Are you embarking on a story, Arch?
I know I set it up, but I hate you. I hate you for it.
Then why did you invite me? Huh?
Because
Answer
I
me
wanted
that.
to ruin your day.
Oh, okay. Oh, you do hate me.
Yes. Why would I bring you here?
That's fair. A lot of people hate me. Well, press the button.
But you have play power too.
Okay, fine.
I'm going to read for you a quote here that is at the beginning of All Quiet on the Western Front. And it is a quote that beautifully encapsulates the entire book and the point behind it. Quote, "This book is to be neither an accusation nor a confession, and least of all an adventure. For death is not an adventure to those who stand face to face with it. It will try simply to tell of a generation of men who, even though they may have escaped shells, were destroyed by the war."
The story of the new one is too heavy-handed. Here's the quote from the beginning of the fucking book that tells you what it's about.
Yeah.
Okay, Arch.
But here's the thing, like, he is correct. The movie is a lot more accusatory than the other versions.
Well, sure, but you can't
Because
say that.
it's literally pointing to the generals and being like, they're the assholes, which, I mean, to be fair, yeah.
Yes, but they were.
That's what happened. Now,
Yes,
I will be
that's what
I will
happened.
be absolutely fair. Arch does make a point that the countries that went to war, at least most of them, had a lot of reasons for going. It wasn't just senseless violence, even though that's what it ultimately boiled down to in the end. There were a lot of very legitimate reasons to go to war, even if they ended up not being legitimate at the end. Like like all of these countries were failing, or at least a lot of them were, and the others that weren't simply got sucked into the war, namely Germany and Britain. That doesn't change the fact that there was a massive difference in the mentality between the upper echelon and the lower echelon.
Yes, but my only point though is that I don't think it's fair to say that one thing is heavy-handed and then immediately say and then immediately deliver a heavy-handed line from the thing you say is
Yeah,
more subtle.
exactly. It's like, oh, it's too obvious, but bro.
But the book literally spells out what the entire story
Yeah,
is
what the
about
point
in
is, and
the opening line.
yeah, and like I
Never
said,
open a book by saying this book, by the way.
yeah, which again, to be fair to the adaptation point, you could argue that this is a terrible adaptation because it is accusatory. However, that doesn't make it a bad movie by any stretch.
No, not at all.
Which, like, again, like, just the fucking title, very lacking story. There's 3 stories going on. They're not very detailed or complex stories. They're remarkably simple stories, but they are still good stories. See, the thing is, if I could just like talk to him for a second, I wonder if he would agree with that statement. If I was to say, so the story is simple, is that what you mean? Because the story is not bad. Like, I wonder if he would agree with the story is good. It's just simple. Because if that's what he means, then okay, yeah, sure, that's the truth. But why are you fucking complaining? Dude, I've seen the 1930 version. It it is not that much deeper. Like, yes, it goes into more
It's
detail
not that
about
deep, bro.
Paul's point of view and the people around him, but honestly, the story is no more deep in this movie than in the original at all. And in fact, the original literally spells out fucking everything except for the ending where he reaches for the butterfly. Like, he's like,
Yes.
I'm sorry, comrade. I didn't mean to kill you. I was just scared. It's like, yeah, no shit. We watched it.
Yeah, I saw it happen.
We were there.
Now
And the thing is,
I do
like,
like that
he said it
version.
with that cadence too, or something along that line.
Yeah, it's the delivery's a little weird, but I do like how he's trying to like vocally rationalize his
Yeah,
actions.
no, I can appreciate that, but the thing is, they do that with fucking everything,
Everything.
bro. Like, I love that movie, but I'm not gonna pretend like it's not a little obnoxious hearing them explain everything. And you know that line where they had about like war being a fever? They had that line in the original movie, but it stemmed from a full-on conversation where one of them casually mentioned, "Well, me and the Kaiser," and everyone else just starts laughing at him. And then they just start discussing, well, where does war even come from? Well, I think it's when one country offends another. Or he was like, well, I'm not offended. Well, it's when one people offend another. Well, I'm not offended. Or no, it's when one country offends another. Well, I'm a part of the country and I'm still not offended. You know what? Well, what's that got to do with me? And then and then they discuss like, well, the British don't want this war either, so maybe it's like a fever that just sort of comes and goes. All of one day everyone's fine, and then all of a sudden everyone's afflicted with this desire to go to war, and then you realize that it's all nonsense, or something along those lines. Which, by the way, that implies that they fought the British as well and even took British prisoners. That's kind of what
Right.
those lines imply, which means that they've been fighting for a while. Which makes sense, because we saw the change of helmets, which means that they've been fighting for at least a fucking year. So, which, again, makes that line about, I've never seen a man die. Bullshit.
You saw like 15 men die.
Yeah. Like, I get that in a situation like that, you tunnel vision, but that doesn't mean you're not seeing people die. But,
Right.
yeah, oh my god. I'm sorry. It's just the original is so much more blatant about its message than the new one. And the new one does, it may be a poor adaptation, but it handles the material a little bit better. Like it's able to, because of the culture of today, it's able to be more gruesome, as well as the technology. Hell, even barring the technology, like there's a scene where where a French guy grabs some barbed wire to climb over it, bomb lands on him, and his hands are hanging off the barbed wire. It's like
Hmm.
it's a haunting scene. It's one of the things that will always stick with me. The thing is, they didn't do that more. I don't remember any other dismemberments in that movie, or at least none that were on screen. Like there's implied dismemberments. Actually, there was the time where they showed that the guy's leg had been amputated, but that's just a filming technique. Just like cut a hole in the side of the bed or whatever.
Yeah.
right?
And then you stick your foot through the hole.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because it was underneath the bed. Like, there was none of the. Mm. Yeah, the new one's better.
Yes, I agree.
Fuck.
The new one is better.
Fucking hell. Oh, it hurts. Arch, why? How could someone so smart be so stupid? Oh, right, play. Fuck.
You wanna...
Those two first lines there, in particular, are the most important. This book is
I
to
just
be
realized
neither
I was
an
rambling.
accusation nor a confession,
man.
and least of
I
all
realized a
an
while ago.
adventure. Because All Quiet on the Western Front is actually a really damn subtle book. It never...
Are you
You
sure
can
about
tell
that?
because of these two lines that I've just read that tell you what the book is about.
Here's the point of the book. Oh. This is a subtle book, you say?
It's a very subtle book.
No, don't get me
yes.
wrong. It probably is a subtle book outside of that.
Imagine, like,
However,
you...
if the book has the same dialogue as the 1930s movie, that's not fucking subtle, bro. That is not subtle. I doubt that it has the dialogue of the 30s movie, but at the same time, you gotta wonder, where did the 30s movie get the fucking dialogue?
Imagine you open up a copy of Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk and, like, there's just an annotation at the beginning that says Tyler Durden and the narrator are the same person.
God damn. So, yeah, like, maybe... I do not doubt for a second that the book is better than all the adaptations, or movie adaptations. I don't doubt that for a second. That's usually how this shit goes. I just, I'm not so sure that it's as subtle as he's saying, because, again, the point that you made about, well, they explained the fucking point at the beginning of the book. And I also have to wonder, I haven't read the book, so maybe it is as subtle as he's saying, but where did the 1930 movie get the dialogue? Was it the writers and director and actors imprinting their thoughts on the book onto what was happening?
Was the book a silent film? You had to infer what they were saying.
Yeah, or did the book have the same dialogue and the movie simply translated it? In which case, if they did, either the movie did a very poor job translating it because they made it really fucking awkward,
In the case of
the book is
I'm
just
s-
as blatant as the movie.
in the case of I'm sorry, comrade, I can imagine that being like Paul's internal monologue, not something he says out loud.
Well, even so, that's still explaining the point to the audience.
That is very true.
Meanwhile,
But
like, you can infer that from what happens in the scene in the new movie, like just by watching the actor's face. Like, just like the look of horror on his face as he realized, oh, I just stabbed a man, and then he looks at the blood on his hands and he just starts like rubbing it off like Macbeth. Like, it's fucking Shakespearean.
well, you can't rub off that blood though because that stain doesn't come off.
Well, to be fair, I don't think he did a very good job. His only method of cleaning was wiping and covering it with mud.
Yes. Also, I was
his
making
hands,
a joke about Macbeth.
Well, yeah, I know, but like the blood does not go away. Like, that's practically ripped right the fuck out of Macbeth.
Yes.
Which, again, that's probably in the book, but you can see it in the actor's face. They don't have to fucking explain it. So
Yeah.
this is a subtle movie. It's just that, Arch, you are familiar with the language of storytelling. That's the issue. You are too familiar with the language of storytelling. The average person is either too stupid or too unfamiliar with that kind of stuff to really catch that. Trust me, I live with these people. And here's, it gets even crazier. How can a motherfucker say that this movie is unsubtle after watching Rings of Power?
Wait.
Arch? Yes. Arch?
Let's not talk about that though.
Well, here's the thing though. That is the most blatantly obvious show that I've ever seen. It's like, oh, here is Thing, and it's like, oh, there's the obvious inference. here is the obvious inference that we will explain to the audience. Why are you explaining this to me? What the fuck's wrong with you? And the thing is, Arch watched that show with Short Fat Otaku, Lilith Lovett, and I think a couple other people. I forget their names. But he watched the show with them. He watched Rings of Power, so he knows how unsubtle things can be, and yet he's calling this the most unsubtle version of All Quiet on the Western Front, despite the fact that the 1930s movie fucking explains everything? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you high?
Maybe he is high.
I mean,
You don't
he is
know.
from, like, the Nordic lands, so maybe it's allowed over there. Who knows? But he sounds too salient to be high. He sounds like a fucking professor.
Tells you anything. It never hits you over the head with any points. It is simply trying to render the horrors of war in a realistic fashion
It never tells you anything. I find that hard to believe.
as seen through the eyes of a young man fighting in that war. And it does it so well that I would say that All Quiet on the Western Front does not have an anti-war message. It simply has a message about war.
Everything about war is anti-war.
Not necessarily.
I-
Because there...
Okay, unless it's made by a stupid person.
Well, but here's the thing, though. A lot of people who come back from war will describe it as the most thrilling thing that they've ever been, and
Yeah.
they often describe it
Which
as the place where they belong. And you could chalk that up to, like, mental disorders or, like, PTSD or, you know, having changed so much that they don't know how to fit back into society. But
A lot of
there
people
really
also just don't know how to deal with the adrenaline high that they
yeah,
get.
but there
from it.
really is, like, a level of, you know, love that you get from the camaraderie of you know, just being there with people, even without the combat. It's a fraternity, basically. And I can kind of understand that to a degree. I don't know if I agree with it. I've never been to war, and I hope I never have to go to war. Because, well, I've seen the horrors of it. I've seen live leak videos, man. It's not that hard to fucking find.
Uh-huh.
And I've read the accounts and listened to the interviews of veterans from all over history, and the horrors of war go all the way back to the beginning of war. Like, you can watch even in the Gombe chimpanzee wars, the chimps on the losing side, they got depressed as their friends started dying. And another thing is, in, like, there was an ancient Greek story, a true story, not one of the myths, a true story. This happened. A guy, his best friend was standing next to him in a phalanx. He got killed by, I think it was a Persian, maybe I'm wrong. And then the guy killed the guy that killed his friend and immediately goes blind. And everyone else after the battle said he doesn't look like he has any problems. He has no wounds to his face. Like, his eyes look fine. He should be fine. He's just blind for some reason. Hysterical blindness was recorded 3,000 years ago because of an experience in war.
Okay.
First of all, I just want to say that's so fucking cool.
That is cool.
I mean, you know, for all the wrong reasons, but still. But so yeah, like, war is kind of a pretty fucking bad thing, but there is also a lot of good to it, which sounds fucked up, but, you know, hear me out. If it is a just war, like, say, the Americans in World War II, yeah, and there can be good reasons to go to war, and you can become a better person because of it. You know, you can learn discipline from the army. You can learn a lot about life experience. Like, some of the best literary works have come from the veterans of World War I and II. Because they have all that life experience, and they're able to bring that to the forefront of their work, and they're able to share that message with all these people from all different walks of life who are just able to, almost on an inherent level, just understand it. Because it speaks to something about the human experience. So there are benefits to war. And if an account of war is described simply as an account of war, then you will hear it as that. You may come away with the opinion, wow, well, war kind of sucks, which I would hope you do. But you would also notice that it's not all war bad. Like, it's a complex matter of fact part of life, you know?
Yeah.
Which, maybe I'm fucking insane for saying that. Maybe that's like the pro-war stance, which I know it's in my heart. I don't think that's pro-war, but you know, like I wouldn't say that everything about a war story is anti-war. Like if it's a true war story, then it's simply a fact of life.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
The Netflix movie has none of this subtlety.
Did
Shut
you
up.
just fucking pause it
No,
on
I
accident?
unpaused it. No, I went to unpause it and then you unpaused it and then when I hit the button it paused it, so then I unpaused it again.
I'm gonna go back a little bit because I think we missed something.
Message about war.
War.
The Netflix movie has none of this subtlety. In fact,
Are you
saying
sure?
that this movie has no
Are you sure
subtlety
about that?
is in and of itself an understatement. Comparing the book to this movie is like comparing a scalpel to a dump truck.
So, Arch,
Huh?
do you want to take that comparison to the 1930s movie? Because we can take that comparison to the 1930s movie. I saw it only a couple days ago. Like I said, it is not subtle at all. Oh man. Oh fuck.
Did he read the book before like recently so that he can confirm that everything he's saying is accurate?
I don't know. I I genuinely don't know. I would hope so. And here's the thing. Maybe he did, and he's absolutely right because we haven't read the book, but he's still wrong about the new movie being, unsubtle. Because it's like, bro, like, if you can watch 50 emotions come out of a single face in less than 5 minutes, there's subtlety in there. And there's also, like, like, what was the point of showing the scenes of nature as, like, the interlude between all the major scenes? Was it just to look pretty? Because I don't think so. I think it had a point.
No, it had a point. The point was to show like how the world like how I think anyway, my read on it is like nature remains like untouched, basically. So like because it's always trees, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always things that stand up above humans and people and their conflicts. So like even with all of this even with all of this conflict that's ravaging everything down below, nature will still always rise up and rise above and remain beautiful.
I don't. Well, maybe that's the point, but the point I took away from it was that
Well, I'm not saying that's the point. It's just my read
because
on it.
we also saw the foxes feeding at the beginning of the movie, and we also saw a shot of the river.
Yeah,
So we saw
like
plenty of
it's
shots
life
that look
continuing.
down.
Like
So what I think it is this is the beauty of the world, and this is the beauty of the world untouched by man, untouched by war. And then it hard cuts to the fucking no man's land. This is what war does to the world. I think it's meant to show because there's already the theme of dichotomy between the upper class and the men on the front. There's already that theme. So I think it's meant to reinforce the theme of dichotomy. This is the beauty of nature untouched by man and war. This is what war does to the world. It's meant to show this is how the world should be and this is how it is.
no, that's actually really interesting. Yeah,
I think that that's the point. And we even kind of like get a glimpse into that when Kat is pissing on the tree. He looks up and we see very similar shots to what we were seeing when, we were getting those interlude scenes where we see all the trees and stuff. Like these beautiful, landscapes and like wallpapers, kind of images and all that, and then, well, I think that's the last shot that we see like that because he gets shot after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think that that's the point, and holy fuck, that's really powerful. And hey, the fact that two people who might not be the smartest bunch in the grape pile, right?
What the fuck are you trying to say?
I'm saying we're probably not that smart, but the fact is, we were smart enough to interpret that scene, and to say
Smartest bunch in the grape pile? What the hell?
the point is we're stupid. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
you saw the things we talked about during the movie. Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had a lot of insightful things to say.
Yeah, about Death Race.
Yes. Hey, it's important that we hash out the continuity, okay?
Anyway, so fucking bullshit aside, uh, we're two people of probably average intelligence, and we came away with two completely different interpretations on the same thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they,
no.
they both of those interpretations line
Such is
up.
the beauty of art.
Yeah, they line up to a degree without like, how do I say this? Because like if you come away with more than one opinion on a thing, it's either because something doesn't make any fucking sense, or it's because it's very intelligently written, and there's no fucking in between. But I would say that our differing interpretations show that there is at least some level of subtlety to the movie. So to say that you get hit over the head by a fucking baseball bat is an understatement to the unsubtlety of the movie. That's an absolute fucking sillyhood. The
If you
sillyhood is
ask,
now a word.
yes. If you ask four different people what a Daft Punk album sounds like, you're gonna get four different answers. Think about
Probably,
it.
yeah.
Fully loaded with corpses, mind you, as that is the point with which the movie slams you over the head with again and again and again and again and again. The first shot begins with a bunch of cute little foxes living happily and warm in a cave, all peaceful like, and then, zoom, you're off to the battlefield, the Western Front. It's mud and dirt and blood and guts and corpses and wooden caskets, where we see a young German boy by the name of Heinrich.
Is that not what No Man's Land looked like, Arch?
Well, the thing is, he's trying to say that, oh, look at how unsubtle the imagery is. Oh, look at how dichotomous.
Were there not foxes in the woods?
Well, no, he's trying to say, like, like, the point that I made, oh, it's too unsubtle. It's like, are you sure? Do you know how stupid the average person is? I don't think the average person would have gotten that.
Yeah, all it's
Like
doing is
maybe I'm
communicating
underestimating
that.
human intelligence, but I mean, have you seen what the average person says about movies? Holy shit, dude!
At its most basic form, that sequence of foxes feeding and then war, like it's at its most basic, all it is doing is just communicating to the audience, strap in, this is gonna be rough.
Yeah,
Like,
like, and sure, it is basic. Sure, yeah, okay, fair enough.
well, I didn't say it was basic, just in it like when you get down to the brass tacks of it, right?
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to like steelman Arch's position, because sure, you can easily say that it's basic, and but the thing is, like I said, there's so many stupid motherfuckers being the norm, especially with the media that we're getting these days. Like, people will look at She-Hulk and just be like, "The thing! I saw the thing! It made me clap!" Like, that is how stupid audiences are these days. I am
Yes.
perfectly fine with a movie that isn't the most subtle thing ever, because guess what? At least it's fucking subtle. Unlike the 1930 version. I'm just gonna fucking say it. That movie's not subtle at all. The only subtlety is the ending.
I feel like I'm watching you slowly turn against it as this goes on.
Arch, just know that if I do, it's Arch's fault.
Okay, I'm gonna have words with Arch if you turn against the 1930s
No,
film.
like I do not get me wrong. I adore that movie. It's just Arch is vicariously sucking its dick by sucking the book's dick. And it's just, bro, do these criticisms not apply to the 1930 version?
I
Be
just want to
fucking
make
principled, man.
I just want to make a little meme from the freaking Revenge of the Sith where Anakin's looking up at Obi-Wan, but he's got your little red panda head, and he's like, "You turned her against me," and then Arch is Obi-Wan. You have done that yourself.
You turned the 1930 version of All Quiet on the Western Front against me. And it's just pasted over the subtitles so you can't even read the whole sentence in full. You turned, and then it's just All Quiet on the Western Front 1930, but you can't read against me because it's just covered in the fucking new text.
Uh, it's just a PNG of the poster for the movie.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to fucking read that on a phone, let's be real.
You could do it.
Die in an assault. Then we follow his corpse, or more correctly, the uniform on his corpse, back to Germany, where it gets washed and
Yeah, it was fucking brilliant. What's your point?
repaired
Mhm.
and handed
And-
to our
and,
main
hey,
character.
You want to know something else? It may not have been a one-to-one historical accuracy, but that kind of happened. In fact, there are stories of British uniforms being reappropriated so that they could reuse the wool for new uniforms. Since that is the fucking case for British uniforms, I do not doubt for a second that the uniforms of dead Germans were taken off so that they could be sent back. I do not doubt that for a fucking second, especially since the Germans were surrounded by enemies on all sides. To the east, the Russians. To the west, the British and the French. To the south, well, they had the Austrians to help them out, and the Ottomans, who were at war with the British, who controlled the Mediterranean, as well as the Italians, who were allied with the British.
I'm doing my part.
Oh, okay, well, fuck. Let's go north, where everyone's neutral. Oh, what's that? The British have a very powerful navy? Oh. Which meant that Germany could only rely on German stuff.
Yep.
Which meant that anything that got lost in the war was a loss of resources. So if you could reuse the resource, why the fuck wouldn't you? This shit happened, bro! Oh.
They were doing great too.
Wait, the Germans?
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that.
that was sarcastic.
Oh. I wouldn't say that.
Paul.
They did okay.
The symbolism, the message is crushing. I've been hit over the head with some scripts in my time, more often
I'm gonna hit you over the head.
than not
Yeah.
recently when it comes to television and movies, but this threatens to cave my skull in. And
So-
maybe
I want to make a point, because this is genuinely one of the best movies I've ever seen. Not nearly the best, you know.
I heard you say that a lot.
Well, that's because there's so many bad movies, honestly. Like, okay, keep in mind, out of everything that I've seen,
Remember when you were all like, Joker is one of the best movies I've seen?
well, yeah, when I...
It's sad. You need to watch more movies.
Yeah, it is. Here's the thing. Most of the movies that I had seen up until the point that I saw it back in 2019 were sci-fi originals.
Ugh.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love those movies.
Oh, that explains why you like Everything Everywhere All at Once.
You...
Nah, that movie's fucking incredible.
I was gonna say, holy shit, dude, you just have a penchant for hating good things.
No, I own that movie. It's great.
Good, good, good. Best movie ever made, unironically.
No, but it's good.
Best movie I've ever seen, unironically.
Okay.
No, really, it's better than
Okay.
Master and Commander. It has more
I
consistency.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like Master and Commander has an inconsistency.
Okay.
The stick bug that they find to give Jack Aubrey the idea to disguise the ship doesn't actually exist on the Galapagos.
Okay.
Meanwhile, there are no such inconsistencies in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
I'm just saying, there are less inconsistencies in the craziest movie I've ever seen. Well, not actually, that's not true. It's not even remotely the craziest movie, but there are less inconsistencies in the movie about insane people hopping the multiverse than there are in the grounded movie that gets every fucking detail right. How insane is that?
A little.
Yeah. I understand I sound crazy saying it, but I fucking stand by it. It's 100% true.
Okay. You're gonna have to edit this whole part out.
No.
Oh.
We're EFAPing this bitch. This part's gonna be
Ah.
unedited.
Ah. I have absolutely nothing to say for this for like the last 7 minutes.
This video is gonna be 5 hours long, isn't it? Shit.
It is gonna be 5 hours. Just play the fucking Arch video.
Maybe this is another symptom of the current year, where for some reason writers
Okay,
and
that I can
directors
concede.
think that the audience are nothing more than mouth-breathing moron amoeba.
Which, to be fair, Rings of Power came out and people liked it. The audience is that stupid.
The audience is a mouth-breathing amoeba. I agree.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, Arch, but times have actually gotten that fucking bad. Bro, you saw Rings of Power! You saw the praise it got. How the fuck do you... Do you see why this video upset me?
I see why this video upset you.
How can someone so smart be so fucking stupid?
That will miss any point delivered with less thrust than a Mike Tyson punch to the cock. Because that is what this movie is.
Okay,
It
first
is
of
a
all,
heavy series of blows.
Mike Tyson never punched anyone in the cock. That is an illegal move. You are not allowed to punch someone in the cock in boxing. Second of all, there is no second of all.
Delivered to the back of the head with a rolled up manuscript. Most pointedly of all, the two previous movies both started with that quote I read for you a couple minutes ago.
Oh, good. Both movies previously started with words that tell you what the movie is about instead of a visual in the medium of film. Got it. Okay, cool.
This movie does not. The quote is not in the movie
I have no words.
anywhere.
That's just a really good point.
Because I'm pretty sure the director hated the quote. Because the quote says this is not an accusation. Whereas this movie is a 2.5 hour long accusation. And worse
Excuse
yet is the fact.
Hold up. No.
I wonder what Arch would think about the movie Come and See.
I don't know. He's probably seen it. Probably thinks it's
Have
good.
you seen it?
Not yet. I aim to.
All right, well, aim faster.